because business is down all around. This is the only line operating. Normally, you've got about 5 or 6 simultaneously operating, but there's just not a demand for high-end goods right now. So the price of admission for us to be filming in this factory is they're going to put us to work. So for the next shift, I will be a quality control girl. I have the important job of making sure that these tins are in fact of high enough quality that they can be sent to the market. And I just found a scratch, so this has to go in the reject bin. On the factory floor here, there are probably about just a handful, maybe about 9-10 people. When this place used to be running at full capacity, you had over 100 people working out at once. The business just isn't as robust as it once was, and this particular factory has had to lay off a few dozen people. This is a situation that's seen in much of the Pearl River Delta region. It's what it looks like when the economy shuts down. Bleak everywhere you go.
At least 20 million migrant workers have lost their jobs this past year, and they're disappearing from the cities. The story of China's meteoric economic rise is the story of the migrant worker. It's estimated that over 220 million people have left their homes in the countryside to seek work, primarily in manufacturing. In the city of Dongguan, in southern China's manufacturing center, we met a young man who just arrived hours before. He came to the city with nothing more than a small bag and big hopes for a better life. He found a place to stay his first night, and he invited us up.
This is the hotel room where many of the migrants stay. It's actually pretty nice. It's nice and airy. You've got huge windows, you know, nice light.
一个很美啊。
叶小华
Graduation certificate. High school.
How does your family feel about you leaving your home and coming here to the city?
在我们这里，他的意思说，像我老爸他们一样，在家里让。
The family wouldn't object to him coming out to the city. Their parents are hoping that he'll get an ideal job, get some money, a bit of money back home.
但是也有好的一面，像拿工资，以前我在那家具厂一样，当个领班呢，我也拿过2500-2600块钱工资啊。对于一个像我一个普通那个中学生来说，也是非常不容易了。
And the very next morning, he'd set out to look for work. But as we went from one factory town to the next, it seemed like our friend was one of the very few new arrivals.
This is a nation with 1.3 billion people. But here in this industrial city, it's like they've just all disappeared. It's just bleak everywhere you go. Either stores are shuttered or the ones that are open have like a customer. This small store has about 13 phone booths. This is where migrant workers are typically here to call home.
These phone booths, shops, and restaurants sit empty. Empty because, with no jobs to report to, the workers simply vanish back into the countryside where they came from.
What kind of a factory was it?
这个厂子啊，那一个地位厂嘛，这个地位啊。
Wow, there are a lot. 200 workers lost their jobs at this factory, and like many factories here, the dorms are on the premises, and this is one of the dormitory halls.
So 12 people's room. Huh?
12个。
Wow.
Inside the dorm rooms, you can almost feel the ghosts of the migrants. In some ways, these were our workers making our t-shirts, shoes, and TVs.
So it must be really uncomfortable.
I'm afraid I'm going to break it. Going to the cities is a big gamble. In China, people are still assigned regions where they're registered to live under a system called hukou.
The working condition is very poor, and the city doesn't provide the social security, education, Medicare for this migrant worker. They besides salary have nothing.
And while they can make much more money in the cities, they abandon any civil rights they would have had back home. It's a trade-off many are willing to accept.
If you only work in rural countryside, you have nothing. No money, no future, no opportunity. So they have to go out.
We stopped at this private school for migrant children, where the students represent the dreams for a better future.
I'm not a kid person at all, so this is all a little overwhelming for me. There are hundreds and hundreds of kids. This school is run exclusively for migrant children who don't get to attend public schools. Hi! Hello. You know, this is a big burden for the migrant workers, the parents. On average, migrant workers generally make about 1,000 RMB per month. The school here charges about 950 RMB per child. It's a huge burden to send your kids to school.
For the moment, those dreams may have to be put on hold. China's train stations have long been the gateway to opportunity. But now, many are finding opportunity has escaped them. At least 20 million migrants have lost their jobs this past year and are heading home.
So you worked in a factory. What happened?
因为厂里春节放了1个月假，是底薪太低了，只有700来块钱。上班了又没有什么事做，在那里玩，一天30来块钱。那个我太太，以前也在我那个厂做，是因为小孩子来了，在这里工资又低，他在这里读书消费很高的。谢谢啊。好。
Actually, no people can forecast what happened in China this year. Besides the 20 million migrant workers, also have 6 million the college graduate, about more than 5 million the college graduate cannot find job.